Heidi from Dogmanship Training. I'm going to chat with you today about the power of consistency. Now, if you've done any kind of dog training in the past, you will have heard the word consistency a lot, and it is one that you will hear over and over again. And it's something that we tend to harp on about a little bit, but I wanted to let you know why consistency is so important in dog training and how, if you are really consistent, it can really impact the results that you have with your dog training. So the first reason that consistency is really important is that it helps your dog learn faster. Now, what I mean by that is that true consistency is about repeating the same pattern every single time you try and teach your dog something, so that they're doing the exact same motion, the exact same way, with the exact same command every single time you're doing it. Now, what that means is that you get the opportunity then to create complete consistency every single time you do it, which means that your dog starts predicting what's coming next. So it makes the learning curve way quicker because you're being consistent every single time you ask them to do something. If you ask your dog to sit and you teach them one way and then you teach them a different way and then you teach them a different way in a different position using a different command, it's going to be really confusing. So what you want to do is set up a pattern that you follow every single time you ask them to do it, so they know exactly what's coming next, and then they start to do it automatically. Now, that leads into the second point about why consistency is important, and that's that it creates habits. So if you're using those patterns effectively, then they start to predict what's coming next, and they're going to start doing it without even thinking. It becomes something that's almost automatic for them to do, something they do on autopilot. And so that then creates a habit. And if you repeat that pattern enough, it becomes a habit. So that consistency can really help make training or the behavior that you do or don't want your dog to do almost automatic, almost a habit. Because if they're repeating that pattern over and over again, it's going to become a habit. So for example, if you're teaching your dog not to jump up on you and you teach them by following the exact same pattern every single time you do it, then very quickly they're going to start to learn not to jump up on you, and that will become a habit, and that's what they will automatically default to rather than automatically defaulting to jumping up. So right now you might walk out your back door and your dog automatically is jumping up all over you. Well, we want to create the opposite, where we go outside and your dog is automatically keeping all their feet on the ground. They're not having to really think about it. You're not having to constantly remind them, because you've used consistency through habits, through patterns, you've built a new habit. The third one is that it can prevent, improve, in some cases cure anxiety. Now, that's because consistency creates predictable outcomes. If you're using patterns effectively, it creates a predictable outcome. And for a dog with anxiety, that is really what they need. They need to know what the outcome is going to be, and there's an effective way of communicating that to them. So bringing clarity into a dog's life that's got anxiety is massive, and patterns are a great way to do that. Anyone who's experienced anxiety before will know that knowing what's going to happen next, knowing the pattern, knowing, like having a list almost of what's going to happen, can help make you feel more relaxed and more in control. And that's what they need. They need that clarity. So it can really help there too. The last reason is about you. It's about consistency really helps the handler learn quicker and the handler be more effective in what they're doing. Because if you, same as with your dog, if you're following the same pattern every single time, it really helps to boost the learning curve and make it way quicker for you to understand and for your dog to understand. So the quicker the handler can pick up on something, the quicker the dog is going to pick up on something. So through my dog training academy, so Dogmanship Training Academy, that is where we have all of the patterns, the entire blueprint for you to follow each and every pattern to be able to solve any problems and teach your dog new skills as well. That consistency across the board really helps, again, make the learning process much quicker for you and the dog, make your behaviours into habits, and help prevent and potentially cure anxiety. So if you would like to check it out, head over to dogmanshiptraining.com. Thanks for listening.